Hello, welcome to Screen Talk with yours truly, Nomfanelo. So, just a few hours ago, before the time of this recording, the BAFTA Awards, which is one of the major precursors leading up to the Oscars, just occurred. Now, I was only able to see results online because with the award show itself, apparently there's going to be an edited version that's going to air in the evening tonight, I believe on the E channel in the US and Canada. I'm not sure why they do that, but I do see there's already clips circulating online. So probably by the time you see this video, the award show would have already aired in your area. But yeah, regardless, I want to talk about the wins because usually I don't talk about BAFTAs, at least publicly. But from what I've seen with the results, I feel like it's worth talking about in terms of not just what happened with this show, but what possibly could happen um, with the Oscars. So let's take a look here, shall we? So for adapted screenplay, that went to one battle after another. Now, that seems to be the odds on favorite that's going to win this category at the Oscars. I'm not too surprised it won. It's not my preferred choice. Just out of this list, I would have liked The Ballad of Wallace Island to win because that was one of my favorite movies that came out last year, but nope, it seems like One Battle is going to take this category at the Oscars. For animated film, that went to Zootopia 2, or as they say in the UK, Zootropolis 2. Now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, why it's called Zootropolis 2 in the UK is because of some copyright thing, I believe. But it's still weird to refer to it as Zootropolis 2 when we know it as Zootopia 2. Now, if you're not aware, if you don't recall, K-pop Demon Hunters, which is the odds-on favorite to win at the Oscars, was not eligible for the BAFTAs because of its theatrical rollout, I believe, in the UK. So, but yeah, like it's interesting that Zootopia won this category. I would have loved for Little Amelie to win this one because that was one of my favorite movies that came out last year. But nope, it went to Zootropolis 2 at BAFTAs. Now, in terms of the Oscars, I still think that K-pop Demon Hunters is going to win this one, but but I bet some people will predict if K-pop is not going to win. They'll predict Zootopia to win here for the Oscars. Now, it seems like when it comes to this category at the Oscars, Toy Story is the only film that had sequels that won at the Oscars. It's very rare for an animated sequel to win that category. If it does end up winning at the Oscars, it'll break that streak. So we'll see what happens, but I think most likely K-pop Demon Hunters is going to win this category at the Oscars. Yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters. Yes, yes. Okay, so best film, no surprise, one battle after another took this one because seems to be sweeping at practically almost every award show thus far. So I won't be surprised if that ends up winning the Oscars. I think PGA is happening, I believe, sometime this month. I don't remember the dates off the top of my head. And we do have SAG, well, formerly SAG. The Actor Awards are coming up beginning of March. So if that ends up winning the best cast, then yes, it's going to dominate at the Oscars for sure. But yeah, not surprising here. I thought maybe Hamnet could have took this one because it's like British movie and all that stuff, but nope, it went to one battle after another. No surprise there. I'm gonna skip the shorts. Let's go to casting. So I swear that ended up winning this one over Marty Supreme, One Battle, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. So this is interesting. When I first saw this online, I thought, oh, most likely the main actor in that movie is going to win that award, which I'll get into later. But yeah, that's quite surprising. I hear it got great reviews because I think it's been released in the UK so far. I believe it's going to come out in North America sometime in the spring. Yeah, I would love to check out that movie. I'm not really sure what the movie is about, but yeah, that's interesting because I think prior to the winner announcement for this category, many people thought that with any of these movies, if they win, it could signal what's to come at the Oscars. I think for the casting category for the Oscars, I think all bets are off with that one. I bet many will say Sinners will win. I'm not too sure on that. I think anything can happen with that category, but yeah, a big win for I Swear for this category. And then for children's and family film, went to Boong. Now, I believe Boong is a live action family film, while the rest were animated films. So maybe that could be partly why it won this category. But I bet not many people were predicting that film to win for this category. Cinematography went to One Battle. In a way, I'm not surprised because that won the BSC award, if I'm not too mistaken. And I think ASC is coming up soon. And if that ends up winning there, then it's most likely going to win at the Oscars. So good on that. I was kind of hoping for Train Dreams to win this category, but yep, went to One Battle. No surprise there. Costume design went to Frankenstein. I think that's well deserved for that movie because the costumes were exquisite in that one. So congrats to Frankenstein. And then director, no surprise, went to Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle. Looks like he's going to be sweeping because he won DGA, he won at Golden Globes, Critics' Choice. I think that's it in terms of major award shows for this category, but yep, no surprise there. And for documentary, that went to Mr. Nobody Against Putin. It seems like for this category for Oscars, it's kind of like up for grabs. So who knows what's going to happen? I don't remember the list of the nominees from the Oscars for this category off the top of my head, but maybe that movie could win, or maybe The Perfect Neighbor, because I saw that one at the Independent Spirit Awards. So we'll see what happens here for the Oscars. So I think this one is up for grabs. For editing, went to one battle after another. No surprise there. I thought maybe F1 could have took it, but nope, it went to one battle. No surprise there. We'll see what happens with the Oscars. And then the Rising Star Award went to Robert Aramayo. Now, I believe this is like a career award. I don't think it's meant for a specific project, if I'm not mistaken. But this one is publicly voted, and they voted for Robert Aramayo. So I'm not surprised there. So he had a pretty good night, I would say, in terms of wins at the BAFTAs. So congrats to him. Let's see. Film not in the English language went to Sentimental Value. I guess I'm not surprised just based off this voting block. I would have hoped for The Secret Agent to win, of course. Now, I bet many people are going to say that, oh, no, what is this? Now, I bet many people are going to say that Sentimental Value is a shoe in to win at the Oscars. I mean, maybe, but I still think it's up for grabs because again you never know with these categories because you think something will sweep but it ended up not happening, but we'll see what happens. But congrats to that Sentimental Valley, because if The Secret Agent didn't win this category, um, Sentimental Value, yeah, like I was happy for the win there. It was one of my favorite movies that came out last year. So congrats to that movie. And then leading actor, Robert Aramayo for I Swear. In a way, I'm shocked that he won this category because it seemed like many people thought that Timothy Chalamet was going to win for Marty Supreme. But then after when I saw the casting win for I Swear online, I'm like, oh, he's going to win, and then it ended up happening. So yeah, congrats to him on winning this category. I bet many people are thinking like, what's gonna happen with this category at the Oscars? I think anything can happen. So the Actor Awards coming up beginning of March. I think anything is possible with that one. Because if let's say if anyone but Chalamet wins that one, I think yeah, it's up for grabs. But I bet if Chalamet were to win at the Actor Awards, most likely people will say he's going to win the Oscar. I mean, maybe. Well, we shall see there. But or it'd be interesting. Let's say if Jesse Plemons, because he's nominated for the Actor Awards, if let's say he wins, especially with all like the hubbub that I saw a few weeks ago about his wife Kirsten Stewart possibly shading or possibly not shading Timothy Chalamet with these series of posts that she shared online. Because that was one of those viral things that I saw a few weeks ago. But anyways, yeah, I think this category is more open than what people expected because for quite some time, many were saying Chalamet is going to sweep, and he lost here. So I don't think that's happening in terms of the sweep. But again, anything can happen at this point. And then leading actress, I guess no surprise, went to Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. I finally watched Hamnet last week, I believe, and it she gave a phenomenal performance in that movie, I would say. So I'm not surprised that she won. I would have hoped for Rose Byrne to win for If I Had Legs with that movie, but yeah, went to Jessie Buckley. I'm not surprised, and most likely she's gonna end up sweeping here on out to the Oscars. Because it seems like for now, out of like the acting categories, it seems like with Best Actress, I think Jessie Buckley is gonna win there. But yeah, we shall see what happens there. And then makeup and hair went to Frankenstein. I would say that's well deserved there. I think most likely that'll end up winning the Oscar. Score went to Sinners, Ludwig Göransson. Well deserved, I would say. And yeah, I think he's going to be sweeping on here on out. Original screenplay went to Sinners. I ultimately was not surprised. Well deserved for Ryan Coogler. I think most likely he's going to end up taking the Oscar. So yeah, that'll be well deserved there. And then British film went to Hamnet. I was not surprised there. I would have loved for the Ballad of Wallace Island to win, but congrats to Hamnet. And then for outstanding debut by British writer, director, producer went to My Father's Shadow. I have not seen this movie, but I've heard great things about the movie. I thought maybe Pilion might take it because I keep hearing things about that movie, but it went to My Father's Shadow. So congrats to that film. And then production design went to Frankenstein. Again, I'm not surprised. It's phenomenal design there in that movie. And then sound went to F1. Not surprised there. Most likely that's going to end up taking the Oscar. And then visual effects went to Avatar, Fire and Ash. Not surprised with that win. Most likely that's going to take the Oscar. And then supporting actor, yeah, I was surprised. Sean Penn ended up winning here for one battle. I'm like, oh wow, this is interesting. Because I kept seeing many people say Stellan Skarsgård's going to win this category. I'm like, we'll see. But he lost, and he's not even nominated at the actor awards. So I think for this category and supporting actress, I think anything can happen. So yeah, this is interesting. I would have loved for Jacob Elordi to take it for Frankenstein, but yep, went to Sean Penn. So congrats to him. And then supporting actress went to Wunmi Masako for Sinners. I thought she did a great job in that movie. I felt yeah, this category is up for grabs, I would say, and she ended up taking it here. And we'll see what happens within the coming weeks leading up to the Oscars. But anything can happen. So before I wrap this up, I did see headline here from Variety that mentions that apparently with Marty Supreme, it ties the BAFTA record for most losses in history. Because apparently it was nominated for 11 awards, which that's like insane. I thought it was less than that, but oh, apparently it was 11. Uh, so yeah, mentions here that yeah, it went 0 for 11. The film entered BAFTA with formidable nomination strength and broad expectations of converting in at least a handful of categories, particularly for Chalamet. But then he lost to Robert Arameo for I Swear. It says, yeah, the A24 contender was shout out across the board, joining Women in Love and Finding Neverland as the only films to go winless with 11 nominations. And it says notably, both of those titles went to win one Oscar for their on their respective nights. It says Glenda Jackson for Best Actress for Women in Love, and original score for Finding Neverland. So yeah, in a way, again, I thought Chalamet was going to win because it seems like out of the nominations that the movie has, it seemed like Chalamet was the best shot of winning for that movie. But no, I think, like I said, with that category, I think it's still up for grabs. So again, anything can happen. So yeah, maybe at the Oscars it could win something, or maybe it won't. But because I believe it's nominated for 9 Oscars, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, but then it mentions here that with Everything Everywhere, because that movie at BAFTAs won one award, which was film editing, but then ended up dominating at the Oscars with 7. So and then mentioned Moonlight, where that lost at BAFTA, but then did well at the Oscars at the time. I don't know if that's going to change for Marty Supreme at this point, but again, anything can happen. So I do want to mention that the voting period for the actor awards is happening as of time of the recording. It ends on February 27th, so that's within a few days. Because the award show itself is on March 1st on Netflix. And with the Oscars, voting says starts at February 26th, so that's on Thursday, and that ends on March 5th, so that's happening for 1 week. So I think, yeah, I think maybe a few races are pretty expected in terms of wins for the Oscars, while others are still up for grabs. So I would like to know, what are your thoughts on the BAFTA wins? Um, do you think this is going to translate to what we'll see at the Oscars within a few weeks, or maybe not? Let me know in the comments section. So if you want to support me, you could visit buymeacoffee.com/Malloy, where you could donate and also to view exclusive posts there. Um, I do on my YouTube channel. I do have a community tab where if you do subscribe to the channel, you could feel free to leave comments there, as long as it's under community guidelines. And if you want to follow me on social media, my links are in the description. So I want to say thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to catch you on the next one.